Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube Live. This is the very first time that I'm doing one of these, so bear with me. Got to get some people in here. Got to get my business partner, Trey, as well. But today we're going to be going over the August update. Hey, let's be honest, real estate can be boring from time to time, but I really want to go over three things. And I got a nice little pretty slideshow that we're going to go through. And then we're just going to knock out some Q&A when it comes down to it. So essentially three things: mortgage rates, home prices, and then equity and capital gains we're going to finish off with. Then we'll dive right into Q&A if anybody joins. The only way that I promote this is literally through my YouTube banner. It's the only thing that I have on there for YouTube Lives on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And this is literally the very first one. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to wait for some people to get in here. But I'll share my screen here in just a second. But kind of how this is going to go, only one time per month am I going to have really boring slides that pop up if people ask questions and stuff like that. When we want to get nerdy when it comes to interest rates and all that kind of stuff, we definitely can. But mostly this is just to be able to jam out with those that watch the YouTube channel, ask me questions, ask questions about the local area. You know, what are mortgage rates doing? Should I move here? Should I run away? And I mean, even if you don't live here in the local area and you just want general real estate information, I got your back. But one time per month, what we're going to do is we're going to go over mortgage rates, home prices, equity, capital gains, like stuff that actually makes a difference financially for you and the family when you go to buy, sell, and invest in real estate when it comes down to it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out how to share my screen here really quick. And then we're going to get started. Moving forward, starting next week, Trey, he's going to be on here as well. His pretty face will be up on the screen and we can jam out and talk like that. I do not know how to invite people to join on the lives. So this is what we're going to do. Trey, if you're in here, he is here. There we go. Well, let's get started. Let me share my screen here really quick and we will get into it. Here we go. Oh, wow. Let's see. I can't see my face anymore. So hopefully you guys can see what's going on. And if there's a chat going on for YouTube, I can't even see it. So let's see. Okay. That's a lot going on. Hey, Trey, do you mind sending me a text message here really quick if you can see the PowerPoint slide? There we go. Well, let's get into it. If you don't know me, my name's Luke. Trey and I run the Living in Middle Georgia real estate group over here. And I just want to help you guys out when it comes down to some knowledge. Like I said before, we're going to go over mortgage rates. We're going to go over home prices and then equity and capital gains. And to start things off, mortgage rates. I know when it comes down to mortgage rates, it's something that everybody's talking about. And by the time you finish going through this with me, you're going to be an expert on mortgage rates. You're probably going to know more than a normal lender knows. And I'm not just going to talk about what happened in the past, what's going on now, but also what we project the future to look like. And not Luke Smith, the realtor, but I go to the chief economist here in the United States, take their data and put it in front of you guys so that you can actually know what's really going on. But there's a Fed decision on July 31st, 2024. And today is August 22nd, I believe it is. And this is what they said. So in support of its goals, the committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5 1/4 to 5.5%. Now, really quick, the federal funds rate is not interest rates, but this is a really good indicator that when the economy is kind of bad, the federal funds rate usually lowers. And in return, we are going to be able to see interest rates lower as well. And this is what Chief Economist Moody said over at Moody's Analytics, Mark Zandi. The Federal Reserve stuck to script, holding the monetary policy unchanged, but strongly suggesting a rate cut is likely in September. The inflation data must cooperate for the Fed to follow through, but all indications are that it will. So global investors are cheered by this, and stocks are up a lot and bond yields are down as they should be. The economy is set to soft land. Now, I know between me making these slides and just a few short days ago, there's a couple banks overseas that closed and it did hit the stock markets. It's not going to affect us like I thought it would. But I'm going to show you some more data on that later. And also, over here at Freddie Mac, if you don't know what Freddie Mac is, it's one of the lending companies that really plays a huge part in funding loans. This is what they said. Mortgage rates declined to their lowest level since early February. Expectations of a Fed rate cut coupled with signs of cooling inflation bode well for the market. But appreciation in consumer confidence may prevent an immediate uptick as affordability challenges remain top of mind. Despite this, a recent moderation in home price growth and increases in housing inventory are a welcoming sign for potential home buyers. With interest rates going down and home prices not exploding like they were, the realistic, just the reality of home ownership is making a comeback. And also, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate rose. So now that we're going into this, some good stuff happening with interest rates. I'm going to show you a graph here really quick. But before we get super excited, we need to really understand what's truly going on in the economy so we know why interest rates are coming down so we can be best prepared. So this is what labor statistics said. The unemployment rate rose by 0.2 percentage points to 4.3% in July, and the number of unemployed people increased by 352,000. So it's now at 7.2 million. These measures are higher than a year earlier when the jobless rate was at 3.5% and the number of unemployed people is 5.9. So we are seeing an uptick in unemployment. In this graph right here from BLS, you're going to see, back during COVID times, we see on the left side of the screen, unemployment rate was high. We saw it as high as, over 14% at one point, and it's stabilized out. But as you can kind of see, the numbers are kind of screwed up at the bottom, but all the way on the right was as of August, 7th, what was going on over there. We are seeing a slight uptick, nothing to be too nervous about, but that is another reason why interest rates are slowly starting to come back down again, because unemployment's going up, home prices are going up, just everything in between, groceries, the economy as a whole, and the Fed's finally saying, okay, we need to help people buy homes. And that's what's going on. And mortgage rates are plunging on the news of weak job growth and rising unemployment. So when you really understand the fundamentals of why interest rates are where they're at, we can look at this type of data when it comes to weak job growth, when it sees to rising unemployment. We can see what the Fed's going to do in return to make sure that we can predict where interest rates are going to go. Again, why are my numbers all messed up? This looked really good before I did it. Long story short, you can get this data on your own. I'm going to recommend some stuff after I get on here. I hate just talking when people are watching. I really want to get in some Q&A. I'm going to blow through this stuff. If you have questions about it, we can go back. But you can see back in May, we saw interest rates as high as 7.52%. Oh my goodness gracious. I have a slide on this. It's disgusting how much you pay to the bank. Okay. But recently, data shows 6.4% on average for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So we are seeing a decrease, and that right there is showing demand based on rate environment. So you might hear a lot about seller market, buyer market, stuff like that. Really, for you to understand when it's a buyer's market and a seller's market, when there is more than 6 months inventory on the market, it's a buyer's market. When there's less than 6 months inventory, it's a seller's market. What does that mean, Luke? What it means is if all the homes are on the market and not another additional home came on market, how long would it take at the rate of which homes are being bought in order to go to zero? So again, like I said, more than 6 months inventory, we're looking at a buyer's market. Less than 6 months inventory, we're looking at a seller's market. And as you can see, all of 2024, it's been a seller's market because buyer demand has been so low due to outrageous pricing and interest rates. And a lot of homeowners just wanted to stay home. Now, that doesn't mean it's a want, it was a need. When you have a 2, 3, 4% interest rate, and you're going to go buy a smaller house and it's going to cost you more money per month, it just doesn't make sense at all to go and move. But with interest rates coming back down and home price appreciation stabilizing, especially here in the middle Georgia market, that's what I want to talk about because these are national statistics. We're in a nice little bubble over here. Buyers are starting to get back in the game. This is a little calculator that I put together. I just used a round number, 500,000. We have this calculator available at any time. Shoot us a text message, 478-888-7808. I will literally send you it no matter the price. But we can see back, only in April, mortgage rates at 7.52% compared to early August. We're still setting at like 6.4%. I think this morning was 6.48% due to, some markets overseas and the banks closing. Not too big of an uptick. But look at the difference in monthly payment. $375 per month difference. I don't know about you. That's a couple nice date nights with the wife. That I know car payments are super expensive. That's a nice little upgrade, you know? But the thing that really disgusts me, look at the difference over the life of the loan. You would be spending an extra $135,000 to the bank. Interest rates are really important. And if you need any help with lenders and stuff like that, we have a lot of good lenders that we work with over here. So if you really want the deep dive when it comes to mortgage rates, interest stuff like this, and trying to figure out, hey, due to my current situation, this is my credit score, this is how much money I make, debt to income ratio, future plans, all that kind of stuff. What kind of interest rate could I get? And then ask this good question. Based off of market statistics, where do you think interest rates are going? Okay. Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm about to help you out here in a second when we dive into that. Because there's a few key indicators that are going to show us that we probably will have at least 3 more rate cuts by the end of December. I'm going to dive into that. But first, got to see what Lawrence says. There is a large pent-up stored demand that could be released into the marketplace when conditions improve, lower mortgage rates, and more inventory. Check this out. This is wild, okay? Inventory is finally turning up about 15%, and that likely is an early leading indicator that we may finally see more home sales as conditions improve. So just earlier this year, we literally have 15% more homes on the market than we did. More home sales, more options. More options means that you and the family can most likely get what you want. And last but not least on this, listings have trended generally upward of late, suggesting to us that a rising number of current homeowners can no longer put off moving. Whether you need to downsize because the kids are out of the house, or you're moving for your job, or, there's a million and one reasons why you end up wanting to move. It's making a comeback because it's actually realistic. Okay. You might get a bad taste in your mouth from a real estate agent in the past that just says, hey, when's the best time to buy? Right now. That's not the truth. The best time to buy is when your family needs to move, number one, and number two, when it financially makes sense. If you're going to go spend $500, $600, $700 more per month on a home that's not as nice as your current one, it's insanity. You're not going to want to do that. But let's talk about some good news. Okay. Greg McBride over at Bankrate. Love Bankrate, by the way. Check out their website. Always has awesome data. The hopes for lower interest rates need the reality check that lower doesn't mean we're going back to 3% rates. Mortgage rates that are 7% now at the time that he wrote this, just last month. We have seen that decrease now, 6.4%. And the best we may be able to hope for over the next year going, through 2025 is most likely 5.5 to 6%. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is just to give you the real data points, the real information that the economists are telling us so that you can have a realistic expectation. Do I think it'll ever go back down to 3% in my lifetime? No, I wish it would. I should have bought a house as soon as I got out of the Army. I would have got 3% interest rate instead of the 5.625% that I have, and I would have more money in the bank to take the wife out on date nights. But it's just not reality. But Goldman, we now expect consecutive 25 basis point rate cuts in September, November, and December. Let's go. Super pumped about that. The slowdown in job growth in July report likely overstates the decline in the underlying trend. But if the August unemployment rate is also weak, guys, this means that there could even be a 50 basis point cut, which could be coming. Now, it's really sad that a lot of families aren't able to afford homes, especially due to unemployment. I'm not, celebrating unemployment. I'm not celebrating people's hardships. But what I'm saying is the Fed are finally waking up and realizing that it is hard to buy a house right now. Things are expensive, and the American people, we need some help. But that's mortgage rates. That's the most detailed stuff that we're going to get into. I'm going to go through home prices here really quick. And home prices are important. For a couple different reasons. Because when you go to buy a house, me personally, and the majority of people are going to say you don't want to spend more than 36% of your debt to income ratio. Meaning, if you make $100, just to make this super simple, if you make $100 per month, do not spend more than $36 on your home. Now, you also need to take into consideration a few things. You have your home insurance, right? You have, let's start from the top. That's a little acronym. You got principal, you got interest, you could have your insurance, and then PMI. If you don't put 20% down, or if you're not a disabled veteran, you most likely have to pay private mortgage insurance. Long story short, having a brain fart right here, just don't buy too much home. Understand that your mortgage rate is not like you living in a luxury apartment where they just do everything for you. You most likely need to buy a lawnmower. You need to make sure that, you're paying for trash, you're paying for water, you're paying for electricity. You need to have a little fund set aside if you don't have a new construction house or a good home warranty in case something breaks. What's the age of the water heater? What's the age of the roof? Your HVAC system. Things break over time, and you need to understand you do not want to buy too much house. We will never push you to buy too much house because we want your house to be a blessing, not a curse. Let's dive into home prices. So, Nordic Real Estate Investment said expert forecasts lean towards a moderation in home price growth over the next 5 years. Thank goodness, it was getting crazy. This translates to a slower and more sustainable pace of appreciation compared to the breakneck speed witnessed in the recent years during the pandemic, rather than a free fall in prices. A lot of people, and I tell you what, if you go on YouTube and look up a bunch of dumb articles, I'm just saying, there are people out there that say that we're going to have a market crash. Hey, I'm calling you out. Carl from the gym, he thinks home prices are going to crash, and he's scaring a bunch of people by saying it. You need to understand this when it comes down to it. That's not the truth, because this is the data. Okay. This is Fannie Mae, MBA, home price expectation survey, Goldman Sachs, NAR, Zillow, Freddie Mac, my favorites to pick from, wide variety. This is what they believe the appreciation / depreciation as of August 5th of 2024. And you see the average on the left side of the screen, 3.1% price appreciation. Let you know that is for the United States of America. In my opinion, if you're living in Middle Georgia, 3, if not 5% price appreciation is what I'm thinking. Few key factors. Home prices increase due to supply and demand. Low supply, high demand, prices go up no matter the industry. We live in Warner Robins, Georgia, or Middle Georgia, the surrounding cities. Robins Air Force Base is the largest industrial complex here in the state of Georgia. They have the best jobs. Go to usajobs.gov if you're looking for an awesome job, great pay, great benefits. People have to live here. Like I said earlier, it's like a little housing bubble. When you move here, you usually have to move here because you have to. And the prices around here are amazing. Average home price right now in Warner Robins, Georgia is $242,000, while the United States is $369,000. And when California is over $750,000 a house. Okay. We just helped a family move from California. Their 1-bed, 1-bath, 719 square foot home that was built in 1956 sold for $300,000. I can say this now because their house is sold. And if you're watching this, I apologize. I'm using you as an example. That place looked like a rundown apartment. They got $300,000, bought a house cash, 2-story home, 2,800 square feet on 0.55 acres. They have enough land to build a pool. It is absolutely insane. People are moving to the area. Homes will always go up in price because of supply and demand, and even the experts say so. And this leads into probably the reason why you're here. If you stuck with me this long, where are prices going? Same guys, 2025, average of all 2.7. But again, our local area, you can always look a little bit more because we are on the low end of cost of living compared to the United States, and we have such demand due to jobs. We have a bunch of industries coming here right now. We have a bunch of new industries that are growing, and heard, coming down from Atlanta, a bunch of high-end investors that, are worth over $100 million each. They got money. They know what they're talking about because they buy commercial real estate. They believe that Warner Robins, Georgia is going to expand 4x in the next 10 years. If it expands 4x in the next 10 years and demand goes up like that, prices are going to continue to go up. I don't say that to scare you, but I say that because the last segment is called equity and capital gains. If you buy a house in our area, you're going to make some money, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But moving on, Lance Lambert, over the co-founder of Resi Club, even if the average national home price forecast for 2025 is correct, right, which is 2.7% on average, it's possible that some regional housing markets could see mild home price declines, while some markets could still see elevated appreciation. That has been, after all, the case this year. Now, if you live in LA, you live in Dallas, you live in New York City, you live in Miami, Florida, right? It just depends on how expensive homes are. Because I know, some friends out in California where their homes increased $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in the course of a few months, and that is not sustainable. And the Fed is going to help us with that. Over at First American, while housing affordability is low for potential first-time home buyers, slowing price appreciation and lower mortgage rates could absolutely help. So the dream of home ownership, it's not gone yet, guys. Okay, I'm not just saying that because I'm a realtor and I want you to buy a house. I'm saying that because that's reality. The American dream is not dead. Owning a home, it is one of those dreams. Now, I know that isn't the American dream, but the average first-time home buyer here in the United States is 33 years old, and our government, don't come and put me in jail for saying this, made it really, really, really tough for us over the last couple of years when it came to finances. And it makes me excited that they are actually trying to turn things around. I know the news media sucks right now, and I don't like them at all. But that's one thing that they're doing really well, and I can really appreciate that. And to finish things off, let's talk a little bit about equity and capital gains. I want you guys to see a few things here. It's really, really important for you to wrap your head around this to show why we won't have a market crash, okay? You see the blue line is owner's equity, green line is real estate value, the orange line is home mortgage liability. The real estate value is all the residential homes here in the United States by trillions. You can see that I had the number up here. Well, that makes me sad. I had the numbers up here. You can see the green line compared to the blue line, which is home equity. And then you see the orange line, which is mortgage rates, not mortgage rates, but how much people actually owe on their mortgages. There is a huge gap right now compared to mortgage rates. I don't know why I'm saying mortgage rates, how much money they have to pay left off before their mortgage is gone and how much equity there actually is. And you see it by the trillions. I know it's a little over $20 trillion. 200. Gosh, I'm going to go back. I'm going to post this somewhere. This is throwing me off. I had the numbers there. It's over $20 trillion worth of in the trillions. You know what I'm talking about. Use your imagination here really quick. Big gap between orange and blue means a lot of people have a lot of equity. Okay, Realtor.com. For decades, few homes appreciated enough in value between purchase and sale to exceed the $500,000 exemption cap. But a recent report from CoreLogic, which I love CoreLogic, by the way, check them out, found that last year, 229,600 homes sold in the U.S., or 7.9% of all transactions had gross capital gains above $500,000, potentially triggering tax liability. That's up from an annual share of 1.3% 20 years ago. To put this into reality, just so you can kind of understand this, I know this sounds crazy, but you can see 2000 and 2003, 1.3% of Americans were going to get hit with capital gains tax above $500,000. Now, just so you know, $500,000 is if you're a married couple, essentially you get 250 plus 250 equals 500,000. So if you are single, you only get a gap or a cap up to 250,000. But just, for the sake of slides, 500,000. You see in 2023, that's all the way up to 7.9%. Now, here in the local middle Georgia area, we don't see a whole lot of homes over 500,000. However, there are some beautiful, beautiful custom homes like up in Forsyth, some in Macon, where you will have price appreciation and you could have equity there. But I have a slide here at the end that's going to show you that you can actually get away from capital gains tax. I'm going to teach you a little secret here, okay? You don't evade taxes because the IRS will come and arrest you. But if you read the tax codes, there's a lot of sneaky little tricks that you can do. And they're not tricks, sneaky little, little salt that you're pouring on your food that will actually show how to get out of this stuff. It's tax deferment. It's not tax evasion. Okay. But here we go. For most homeowners, the capital gains exclusion, which allows you to pocket the first 250 if you're single, 500,000 married couples if you're married, in gains on the sale of your home without having to pay taxes on them, means that you're not likely to pay taxes on the proceeds from your home sale. You can roll that sucker into down payment. You can roll that thing into whatever you want. But homeowners who have lived in their home for a long time or have seen substantial home gains should be aware of the potential tax impact. And this is a little graph going over the United States. And you can see over here in Georgia, we're sitting down at 4.3%. But you see Washington, 15.2%. California, 28.8%. Hawaii, 23%. We've helped people move here from Hawaii, California, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Arizona, Montana, a lot from Texas. People are flooding here. Florida, New York. We have a couple clients coming down from Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana. I mean, it's everywhere, usually due to the fact that the cost of living here in Middle Georgia is absolutely ridiculous. But you can see if you lived in California, you are going to have to figure out a way to defer some taxes. And this is my last slide, give you a little inside secret. Navigating the tax rules of selling a real estate or an investment property can be complex. Long or short-term capital gains tax will apply upon sale, depending on how long you own the house. But there are also ways to minimize or, like I said before, defer taxes on these types of properties. Consider speaking with a tax advisor or financial advisor to learn more. I can't tell you how to do it because I'm not trying to get sued. But if you run into this situation, shoot us a text, give us a call. We will help you. We will get you in contact with the right person. Last but not least, I don't just say stuff. I am all about getting the right data to you. I never want to be that person on the internet just making stuff up. So if you want access to any of these resources that I use for any of these slides, for all of this stuff, shoot me a text message. I'll send it to you. Let me figure out how to get off this slideshow here really quick. There we go. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, guys. Sorry, I couldn't see the chat. I'm going to upgrade to this fancy little platform. It's like a couple $100 a month to get Trey's face on here, my face up on here, see the chat. This was a kind of last second when it came down to it. I'm so excited that you guys are on here. And me, Trey, anything you guys want to jam out, ask some questions. Next week, I will definitely find a way that you can use your audio. Is there a way for you to ask questions with audio? That'd be pretty cool because I feel kind of weird staring at the camera and talking. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the chat. But guys, do you have any questions? Questions about the real estate market? Anything about Zillow? Random houses? Anything like that? Just let me know. Well, when it comes down to it, I'll give you guys a quick little update on some stuff and then we can get off of here. From purchase, we're closing now. When it comes down to us selling homes in the local area, if you guys need anything, shoot us a text message. We come out with 2 new YouTube videos per week. We do some short form video content and stuff like that, just so you really know what's going on here in the real estate market. But when it comes down to it, like, we're real people. We don't just stare at a screen. I don't have a script. I don't do anything but look up market data and try to put content out there that you guys actually need. Trey and I, we're doing a lot of professional video of like downtown Perry and Warner Robins and really getting our boots on the ground, local restaurants. We want to do the school systems and really allow everybody to know what it looks like to live here in Middle Georgia. Because I'll give you my little background here for a second. I grew up in Ohio. I'm not actually from Georgia. Okay. I came down here with the Army. Trey was in the Marine Corps. He's been pretty much here in the local area for 39 years. But I joined the military in 2016, was over at Fort Benning for 4 years, met my beautiful wife. And now I've been over here in the local area going on, 4 years. And I'll be honest with you, I moved here because I had to. I didn't actually want to live here. Average home price in Kathleen right now is 330 grand. Same with Bonaire. Bonaire is like 326,000. Red Cyber Noah. But when I moved here, I did not want to move here. I moved here because my wife's from here and we have 6 nieces and nephews, 10 nieces and nephews, and my wife is the youngest of 6. So I kind of just dove in, didn't know the local area at all. I lived in an apartment for 2.5 years, wasted a bunch of money when I should have just bought a house, but I didn't know. 3 bed, 2 bath. No, it really just depends. The average home price, if you take every single home, bedrooms, bathrooms, lawns, and like divided it in half, you would get $330,000 in Kathleen right now. Yeah, Trey, location. There is a bunch of great school systems in Kathleen, Georgia. It is the most desirable location if you have children. So 4 or 5 bed, 2 bath. 2 really good neighborhoods now that you should look up or we can send to you. The Woodlands, you're going to have those 4 to 5 bedrooms, 2 to 3 car garage, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 acre lots. And then Planters Ridge, the subdivision called the Banks, you're going to have 5-bedroom homes. Some have 2 bonus rooms. So it's technically like 7 rooms, which is crazy. And they start at 424,000, come with fences. They have a pond there. Play sets for kids, splash pads, like a gazebo, all that good stuff. But real quick, going back to that, like I didn't know the local area. I lived in an apartment and this place really, really has grown on me. The only other place that I'll live is North Georgia. But the problem is if I live in North Georgia, I am going to live in the middle of nowhere. So until I move up there, I got some time down here. And also we live literally an hour and 21 minutes from the airport in Atlanta. You can go to Savannah in 2 hours, 2.5 hours. If you want to go to the beach, you drive south, you're at the Gulf Coast, best beaches. There's a lot going on, but yeah, Woodlands, great neighborhood. Trey, correct me if I'm wrong. There's either 2 or 3 different builders in the Woodlands. They all do a phenomenal job. It will be the first person to trash talk builders. They don't like me sometimes because I call them out on their crap, but over at the Woodlands, Trinity Custom Homes is probably my favorite. They do their due diligence. They really dive deep. Jonathan is one of the guys that will walk through with your new construction home and check off everything. That dude will make your house look like a Smurf house with how much blue painter's tape he's going over to make sure that everything is absolutely perfect. Thanks, y'all. House sales makes more nervous than buying because I haven't done it yet. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I bought my first house 2 years ago. I was terrified, but the thing was, I was kicking myself in the butt because my current home that I live in, new construction home over in Byron, bought one of the cheaper homes in our neighborhood. My home's already gone up $45,000 in the last 2 years. And I literally, if I would have bought it another 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when I could have, I threw in the trash can $40,000 of the equity. So if you have a conversation with us, you can shoot us a text, shoot us a phone call. We can dive into it. We will not push you to buy a home. I do not let people push me to do anything that I don't want to do. We can just give you the data. We can show you what it looks like and we can help. And also just know the information. If you're planning on living anywhere here in Middle Georgia for more than 2 to 3 years, I would buy, turn it into a rental, sell it, pocket that money, roll it into your next home with a down payment, whatever it may look like. Also with the whole curb appeal thing, I feel like I'm way behind on landscaping and deep cleaning interior, hoping house staging isn't outrageously expensive. Real quick, I don't know what you said earlier in the chat. 3 things to increase your home's prices faster than anything else. Number 1, curb appeal. When that person sees that house for the first time, when they drive by it, it needs to look good. When I bought my first home, I drove up. It did not look like the pictures, kept on driving by. And this is from one of the most reputable home appraisers in our local area, by the way. Number 2, deep clean, hire a professional company. Yenny, she doesn't speak a lick of English. She is the best home cleaner I've ever met in my entire life. And her prices are phenomenal. Her husband is licensed for handyman fix up stuff. Awesome dude. Outrageous. It just crushes it. Amazing prices. And then number 3, decluttering. Take everything that you have, put them in boxes, shove it in your garage, put everything away. And you do those 3 things, your home will sell faster and it's going to sell for more. Currently renting a home and it's expensive. I figure I can buy a house for the price I'm renting for right now. And no, that's the sad reality, man, when it comes down to it. Um, Now, buying a home doesn't make sense for everybody. Like I said, if you're not planning on living here for at least 2 to 3 years, and if you buy in the wrong location where home price appreciation isn't going to go up, like legally as a real estate agent, I can't steer you away from where to buy, but pretend I'm not a realtor right now and I'm just like being a homie, you know? There's certain areas, for example, in Warner Robins, that if you buy a home, your price appreciation isn't going to go up. It's not as desirable area, the school systems aren't as good. And for you to be able to sell that house in 2 to 3 years, probably not going to make your money because it's not going to be enough equity when it comes down to all the fees and stuff that you pay when you go to sell your home. Now, like you're saying, Kathleen, uh, is Kathleen a good area to buy? Me personally, my favorite areas, Byron, if it's the right location, Kathleen, Bonaire, and Perry, you can't go wrong. Those are really the golden areas of our local area. We find a lot of people all throughout the United States that move here and give us calls that usually search for Macon and Warner Robins, usually due to Robins Air Force Base or a great job opportunity. But then we start sending, them homes from Bonaire, Kathleen, Perry, Byron, and mostly they move from Macon and they usually move to those areas. Yeah, man. If you need help working on base, I shot a video a while ago. My wife works on base. My father-in-law worked on base for over 40 years and got the highest civilian award presented by Barack Obama. Jason, my brother-in-law, works on base. Nathan, my brother-in-law, works on base. Um, I've gotten my friends jobs on base. If you need help, I made a YouTube video. You can just check out on the channel exactly how to land a job on base and everything in between. I got your back. And if you need, um, anybody that works yeah, we got your back, man. So if you really do want to get a job on base, just ask. I know pretty much everything on everybody on that institution and installation, and if I don't know somebody, I know somebody that knows the supervisor can most likely get you an interview. House will be empty when we sell, so not worried about clutter. If we repair the deck and equity will be tight, how much is a good price for staging inside and out? So I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'll be real. There are home stagers here in the local area. They do a phenomenal job, but typically I don't recommend doing staging if it's over $500,000. There's some really good AI technology. If you would have hired us as agents, what we would have done with your new construction home, hire professional photography, no matter what, every single time. And then we send it off to a company that makes it look like it's actually staged. The AI stuff is getting crazy. Earlier in the year, you could tell that it was AI. Now you can't. They'll throw beds, side tables, rugs, interior design, everything. We pay for it out of pocket. If you really need help with that, I can send you a link, where your agent can pay for that on their behalf to be able to get that out. If you really want home staging, you're probably looking anywhere between $1,500 and $3,500, depending on the square footage. But I'll be honest with you, man, good professional video tour of the home, post that on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and then you run ads on Google, Facebook, and Instagram, not targeted just for the local area, but all over the United States using proper keywords. There are people actually moving to our local area. You're going to get so much buyer activity. You really aren't going to have to worry about, staging and stuff. That's Trey and I's secret sauce. We've mastered the process of marketing. We get your house in front of thousands of more people than any other agent can. It's a proprietary blend. We are a marketing company and a media company that just so happens to sell real estate. So when it comes down to it, like you got to get it. You got to get it on all platforms at all times and actually run targeted demographic ads all throughout the United States. If anyone's searching for homes near Warner Robins Air Force Base, Warner Robins, the city that it's in. So it actually pops up. Somebody clicks on a video. Guess what? They're more likely to actually show up if they saw a video of it rather than just photos by 403%. So when we sell a house, our homes get 403% more activity than the average agent in our local area. And it's nothing to put local agents down. That's just market statistics when you properly market a home with video. Yeah, I'm trying to get into networking / cybersecurity on base. I have my certifications, bachelor's. Let's go, Noah. That's awesome, man. Dude, backyard for the dogs. I got 0.75 acres over here in Byron. Got a fence. Dogs love it. So just deep clean and landscape then. My realtor has a good photographer that does Photoshop. So I think you're right about skipping stage. Yeah, that's what you got to do. As long as you have good marketing and your home is popping up in front of the right people that want to see it, you're going to be good. So just deep clean, landscaping, and the professional photography is a really, really good start. If you're in the local area, make sure you reach out to your agent first, not stepping on any toes, not trying to get sued by anybody. If you want us to do a professional video tour of your home, even though we're not your agent, because you're watching this live right now, I will do it for you free of charge. Your home needs to be on YouTube. It needs to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Now, if we do run ads, we will need to get permission from your agent. But if that's something you want to do, just let them know. First and foremost, are you from the local area? Because I think you were typing in the chat earlier. Because if you are, we will definitely help you out. Yeah, no, when it comes to backyards, man, when you're looking for new construction, there are nice homes with big backyards. There are some builders. You need to be wary. It's kind of tough to be able to see it online. Decatur, man, why are you living so far away? When it comes down to big backyards, there's this new push with builders that are really trying to stack homes right on top of each other for like plumbing and different stuff like that. But as the last time I checked, I'll just check here really quick. I think there's over 900 homes for sale in Houston County. So, dude, there's just so many options right now. It is awesome. Dang, even Zillow's trying to sell me a house. Yeah, Houston County. It's saying 763. That's wild. It was literally like 960 just the other day. We're always up and down when it comes down to home prices or amount of homes for sale. But like we said earlier in the that little presentation, we're up 15% nationally on homes. We're even up more in the local area. Decatur now, but I'll be moving into Macon next week. That's awesome, man. Welcome to the local area. Super, super excited for you. Trey, if you're willing to, Decatur's right outside of Atlanta, isn't it? Man, I will tell you what, if I never have to go to the city of Atlanta again, outside of, dude, I'm going crazy. Yeah. I won't ever. I'll go to the airport. Other than that, man, I'm just trying to drive around. I do not want anything to do with at all Atlanta. The wife and I have gone up there a few times. There's some really cool stuff to do, man, but I'm just not a city guy. I want to go to the mountains. I want to go to North Georgia, South North Carolina, South Tennessee, and just live, get some goats, get some chickens, and just live my life. That's the goal. But yeah, we're wrapping up on 42 minutes. Thanks everybody for joining. Last minute questions for me. Some people might not know I'm a full-time Bible college student and I need to get some assignments done before the end of the week. Because all of a sudden my school had this great idea of they record the amount of time and interaction inside the textbooks. And some of my classes require 4 hours a week that you literally have to be inside of a textbook. And I've tried to, just read, and then there's still time left. You can't just keep your screen open. So I got to knock out some homework. Trey, Leah, anybody else have some questions before we get out? Walkthrough on Sunday before closing Monday. Any tips? Yes. Final walkthrough, please, 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 please. Under no circumstances. Trey can attest to this better. Trey is literally the number one agent here in Georgia, sells more homes than anybody else. He's a savage. He is going through final walkthroughs multiple times per week. Do not be emotional. Do not get excited. Make logical decisions. This is a financial transaction. Okay. This is a business deal. When you walk through, check everything. I pray that you got a home inspection. You're going to turn on the water. Make sure that the hot's hot, the cold's cold, water pressure's good. You're going to flush all the toilets. Don't be like me and have your toilets hot water, okay? It's a big no-no. Check the hoses outside. Check all the light fixtures. if you have one of the little plug-in things, check the outlets. A lot can change between your inspection and the final walkthrough. If there is any discrepancies, guess what? The deal is not closed yet. Put your freaking foot down. Yeah. If you see something, say something. I don't care if your agent tells you, "Oh, that's okay. We'll take care of it after." I don't know about you. I am not signing the dotted line until it is exactly how we stated in the contract. Nice little tip here. When you signed that initial contract to buy the home, you bought it as of the knowledge that you had at the moment of signing. If something has changed, guess what? The contract is no longer enforceable unless they make those fixes. Okay. I see it way too much. It makes me really sad sometimes that really good new construction, not too worried, good. I just see stuff with the HVAC system blown out, water heater blown out, different stuff like that. However, even if you got good stuff going on, Trey, can you type in the chat just in case? Mama Deb, what is going on? Got my mom in here. When it comes down to the doing final walkthrough on Sunday before closing, I lost my attention span because my mom is the best mom in the entire world and I love her to death. Get a home warranty. Trey, I know there's two primary players in the local area that do home warranties. Get one. Okay. It doesn't matter if your refrigerator breaks, your, hot water HVAC system. Yeah. 210 home warranty. And then there's Bree with home warranty. You're going to be super happy. Okay. Because if your $5, $6, $7, $8, $900 fridge breaks and you have to pay $50 out of pocket, it is absolutely worth it. I just had a client about 3 months ago, moved here from California. They didn't want a home warranty. Everything came back good on the inspection. The home was built in 2008. They moved in, same weekend water heater broke. The inspection came back perfect. I triple checked the inspection. Everything was perfect. Bam, first weekend in there, it broke and they didn't have a home warranty. Broke my heart. They had to go spend $600 that weekend to get one, and they had cold showers until it got replaced. But if you do buy a water heater, a little pro tip, Lowe's holiday weekend, definitely the place to do it. Mama Deb with the barn dough. Barn doughs are here and there. You would have to find someone that does them. Not a lot of builders around here do them. It's pretty typical with new construction. Yeah. So what she wants to do is get some land down here and have somebody build a barn dominium. I'm sus about warranties, but I'll look into it. Look into 210 home warranty. It's not like your car's extended warranty and the company disappears. They actually do like replace your stuff and they actually come to your house and like help you out. But yeah, Mama Deb, Trey's going to get with you when it comes down to barn dominiums and stuff like that. We'll find you a really good builder that can do it. Yeah, home warranty is worth it if you're with the right one. I'm sitting inside of a new construction house right now. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have a new construction or if your house was built in the 1800s. I don't know if they'll give you one if it was in the 1800s. I've never sold a house that was in the 1800s. But when it comes down to it, it's definitely something that you want to do. Mama Deb going to leave the cold of Ohio and move down to the heat of Georgia. Dude, yeah, you like the little Freedom Cup, dude? Brought to you by Buc-ee's right off of the Russell exit. And then, yeah, Trey got these new T-shirts made, American flag, because we're all veterans. And he got me some hats over there, too. If you guys want a T-shirt, love for you guys to rep. Live in Middle Georgia. And then it's a 2023 build, good ones. I'm all ears. Just don't want to spend a bunch on something. Trey, is it like $200 a year or something for home warranty? It's nothing too much. Man, I just want to make sure that you're protected when it comes down to it. You never know. I'm going to give you a little insider secret and then we'll get off of here. Yeah, $300 to $700, depending on what you want. My bad. I was on the cheap side. Dude, Facts. $200 like case of 9mm. Yeah, you need 9mm more than you know in warranty. But when it comes down to it, I will just give you my experience. My builder didn't figure out that he was 24 years old until we closed. A horrible experience, by the way, afterwards. Never would come back and fix anything. Still have problems to this day. I just don't want to spend the money to fix it. And just run into stuff like after, like my main toilet in my bedroom is hot water. You have to clean that sucker all the time because it gets moldy. My hoses outside used to be hot water. Little stuff that you don't even check for. Okay, you got to check everything. But what I found out, probably 75 to 90% of builders here in the local area, they're a builder, but they subcontract out everything. They're just the one that puts the deal together so they make money. So if they have cheap labor from cheap subs and then you get the final product, you could have phenomenal painters and sheetrockers and foundation, all that kind of stuff. But if you have a sub that came in and did a horrible electrician job and somehow it got past the home inspection, you might run into some issues. So it's not that the builder overall is phenomenal. He picked one wrong subcontractor. You are going to have to fix it down the road. And guess what happens when we're adults? Guess who pays for it? Us. It sucks. Just like my lawn, we've spent probably 15 grand fixing the grass in the backyard plus a fence. We got concrete slabs that are emerging from the backyard that we did not see because they weren't there. I mean, you took a metal detector to my backyard, please come. Screws, nails, iron rods, concrete slabs at all. Didn't see it. But you know what? Those types of experiences make sure that stuff like that won't happen to the people that buy and sell houses with us. Oh yeah, ammo is the solidest of the assets. Man. But that was our first live session. We will be coming to you every Thursday, most likely, if something pops up, it pops up. By the way, anybody that's watching this and anybody that sees, let's go Trey's beautiful face is going to be on here next week. I'll figure it out. If you have any questions, topics that you want us to go over, anything like that, for those that stuck all the way to the end, because this is going to get uploaded to YouTube, shoot us a message during the week. I wish you could DM people on YouTube. That'd be pretty dope. Leave a comment somewhere. We got your back for life. And if you ever look to buy, sell, invest in real estate, we'd love to be able to help serve you and your family. And if you are using somebody else, we're not going to pull you away from it. If you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. Just not going to get between you and your realtor because I ain't going to get sued. We will catch you next week. See you next week.